Hey, good morning, real estate world. This is John Moss for General Property Management right here in good old Eau Claire, Wisconsin. So as we go through lease renewals here in 2025, we've been asked by a lot of owners, like, what is my rent increase going to be this year? Because there's an expectation that their rent increase will be like substantial, like maybe more than $100 per month for their one rental unit, or per unit if they have multiple units. And those, we're kind of in a different situation right now. We cannot do, the market controls what we can do. We're always going to try to get an owner as much as we can for their investment. However, we can only do what we can do with the current situations, the current market conditions. So I've got a couple graphs that I'm going to show you, and I'm keeping it low tech, so I did print these out on paper, so hopefully this works out. So this is the average rents that we have seen in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. I asked ChatGPT 5.0, the paid version, to give me a graph of what has happened with the rents in Eau Claire, Wisconsin since 2018 until 2025 August today. And that's what we've seen. Slowly increasing, and then from year 2023 to 2024, that's probably when everybody figured out that, oh my gosh, we can get a whole bunch more money out of our units. I think the professional management companies, the realtors, everybody else had already figured it out before that. But everybody was on board, and rents went way up from post-COVID to 2024. Then if you notice, it dropped after 2024 down to 2025, kind of a correction. But if you were to run a trend line on that, it would be slowly, going up. Okay, so then second graph here. So this is why we are not cranking rents hundreds of dollars per month. Now, so look at this. Okay, this is 20 months from August 2025 back to January 2024. Okay, that's looking at the months. You see the big dip there, that's winter, and you saw the trend line. The trend line is downward. We're trending down on average. Granted, Wisconsin here, we have seasonal changes, and we are going to be heading into fall, and we're going to be heading into that down like we do every winter, and then in the spring it'll go back up. Just the way it is. We have winter. It's Wisconsin. We deal with it. Okay, so property owners cannot expect in our current market that we're going to be able to just up and raise rents $100 a month because the lease renewal came up. Our focus currently is on keeping the tenant that is there in place and not even thinking about moving. So our rent increases are very modest, very mild, $5, $10, $15, whatever we think. We keep them low because we don't want to encourage that person to move out. There's a lot of new places that are coming online, a lot of brand new houses, brand new rental properties coming online. We don't want them to go over and go, oh my gosh, if I move over there, I can save a little money, live in a brand new place, more energy efficient. And oh my gosh, I have underground garage, it's heated, and holy cow, I'm moving, I'm out of here. So we don't want to encourage moving because one of the biggest expenses that property owners have is turnover. You turn over an apartment, it's really expensive. You don't want to have a turnover. So we try to retain the tenants we have. We ride it out, things cycle through. We just went through a huge increase, inflation, and everything from loaves of bread to eggs to renting in apartments, and it is what it is. It cycles through. So do not expect huge rent increases in the current market that we're in right now in Eau Claire, Wisconsin, and that's true across the nation. Okay, so the second graph, that was all data straight from Zillow. That was data from Zillow. That wasn't a chat thing. That was Zillow. And then when I was on Zillow, I also got a couple frequently asked questions that I thought I'd present to you also today. And I'm just going to I'll do just a few here. What is the average rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin? The answer from their FAQ was $995 per month. How has the rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin changed in the last year? In the last year, the rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin decreased $120 per month, according to Zillow, okay? Of course, if you're fully occupied and you only raise it a little bit, we're not going to say, hey, Mr. or Mrs. Tenant, the rent, average market rent in Eau Claire has gone down. We're lowering your rent. We're not going to do that. Things cycle through. How much has a rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin increased or decreased in the last month? Brace yourself. In this one, it says, in the last month, the rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin decreased $120 per month. Here's another one. How many available rentals are there in Eau Claire, Wisconsin? So as of today, which is August 23rd, there are currently 293 rentals available in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. Well, known to Zillow, there's probably more. How do rent prices in Eau Claire, Wisconsin compare with the national average? The average rent in Eau Claire, Wisconsin is $995 per month, 52.6% lower than the national average of $2,100. Good old Eau Claire, Wisconsin, $995, less than half the national average. That's great. People will want to move here. They'll want to come here from Minneapolis or St. Paul. They can telecommute. They only have to go into their office a couple times a week. Good news for us. Anyways, we're not going to crank the rents. We're going to retain tenants. That's how we're going to control costs to keep as much money in our property owners' pockets for 2025 going forward. Thank you very much for watching. This is John Moss for General Property Management. You can learn more at generalpropertymanagement.com or call our office 715-832-1200, and any of our excellent executive property managers can help you out with any questions you may have. Thank you very much for watching.